Right, Shalom, I'm giving all praise unto Yahweh Shemashah, Bashim Kohak Wadash. The bonus unto the apostles of great millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. The Baba Ibadi are coming ahead to give this truth, the grace and mercy of Yahweh. Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kohak Wadash. Giving all praise unto Yahweh Shemashah, Bashim Kohak Wadash. Okay, this is going to be a relatively quick video, in transit style video, based upon this article that you can see right here. And the purposes of this video is to speak about these corporate jobs, talking about the middle management type jobs, career managers that you've seen. I certainly have seen throughout the course of my so-called working career. And what I really wanted to speak about is the general management, okay, AI general management, which brothers have gone into in a lot more detail than I'm going to be able to go into right now. But brothers have gone into the AI doing the general management tasks and being significantly more effective than a human being be able to do it. And what strikes me as a very interesting prospect is when you look at the job spread in the corporate world, especially out here within the UK, probably out there in most Western countries. There's a lot of so-called management jobs, right? You know, sales account manager. What else comes to mind? Product manager. Just a guy not really producing anything, not really having anything that has, or doing anything that has any quantifiable value for a business, but he's able to just skate on that for the entirety of his career. And this is just something that I've seen throughout the course of my so-called career, by individuals failing upwards. And that's a term that you see within the corporate world, failing upwards. Okay, that's a very common term that you hear within the corporate world, where a dude's just there and somehow is just able to go up, not work up. That the idea of working up really is not really a thing as such, depending on what industry you're in. Really, you're going to be in a position where you find favor with the individuals that are already there. Now, what makes Jake special is that we can find favor, especially the brothers that within this truth, we can find both favor and still be top producers. And that's a very special place to be in, where you're both likable and competent. Because most of the time when you see a guy that's got jokes and all of that, tends to be a person that's not really productive. But that's neither here nor there, and it's not really additive to the purpose of this particular video. So what I wanted to speak about is the career manager, guy that's just middle management for the rest of his career, makes a half a decent wage. Maybe he's got the corporate car or the pool car, and he drives up and down and flies around the world and all of that. That job is pretty much getting in a position where it's gone. And what you find out is, especially in the 2008 crash, what you found out is that was the first jobs to go. Okay, that was the first jobs to go. Those little middle management jobs, when you start really looking at your balance sheet and you're looking at the non-value added time, you come to the conclusion that a general manager, really, you don't need him. Because if you got a director and you got a product that you need to produce, well, the guys that need to produce are going to produce, whether that be manufacturing or whether that might be, right, a guy working behind a desk somewhere drawing on a computer or something like that. Generally speaking, you don't really need a guy to manage that. You might just need a guy to sign off the holidays and all of that, but now you can get the AI to do it. Right now you're gonna be able to get the AI to sign off your holidays, to sign off your sick pay. You get the AI to do that, right? To sign off, you know, when your so-called return to work. You could do that on a. What do you need a guy sitting in a management position to do that for? Right? You can literally have an AI ask you the relevant questions for it to be able to, for you to be able to return to work. You know what I'm talking about, especially if you work out here within the UK. I don't know if they have a similar policy out there within the US, but here you got a return to work form, return to work interview. So you sign off sick, you got to go back to work, but before you can work, they're gonna assess you to see if you're physically fit to get back to work. All right? Would you need a guy earning 40, 50, 60, 70 grand to sign you off for that for? That's a complete waste of time, right? Redundancy. What do you need a guy to go through a redundancy matrix when you can get the AI to do it. The AI is going to see who's productive. The AI is going to be able to watch your mouth strokes, okay? See what value you're adding to a business. You don't need a guy sitting out there trying to maximize the value of a particular individual and so-called middle managing for the rest of his career. Let's talk about other industries. That was largely, manufacturing and engineering, which that's what I'm most familiar with. But let's look at it from the other perspective. Let's look at one of the biggest gigs that you had out here, which was, well, two of the biggest gigs that you had out here, which was the government jobs, namely the NHS and namely the education system. Well, we already know the education system is already jacked up, but with the stay-at-home thing, you found out that a guy could teach a class within his kitchen. Now, what's stopping the guys that make the curriculum making that into an AI video or already pre-recorded video, and the kids so-called learn that from their houses? Meaning to say them not corporate jobs, but rather more those government jobs, school jobs where you're the teacher making half a decent wage and all of that. That could be getting ready to go, because again, you can get the AI to do the test. You can get the AI to program a test, right? IQ test, all of this, that, and the third, right? So that's the thing that can go. Here it is out there within China, I believe it is. Correct me on the comment board if I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure you got a system out there within China where they already got the cameras watching the kids in the classroom and seeing the productive kids and non-productive children. So you already got a means of teaching and so-called educating, rather more really imprisoning, because these schools ain't no education system, man. This is a form of imprisonment, a young imprisonment. You're supposed to have tutors. You're supposed to have people that's gonna take you out and really teach you something, not some guy or some woman coming back from a hangover and she supposedly doesn't even know about life, but she supposedly knows everything and she's responsible for your children's future. that don't work out. So that's one aspect of it. But also too, the other corporate gig that people have been playing on for the longest time are these health service jobs, and again, middle management. These are the jobs that are gonna go first, okay? Those little corporate middle management jobs where you was able to skate for the longest time, get a little company car, go on a couple of holidays a year. This is where the AI is gonna take over, because again, what the hell do you need a guy to be going through a chart ticking, okay? What do you need a guy with an Excel spreadsheet ticking things for? The computer can do that now. What do you need a guy on 50, 60, 70 grand, right, having to go out there and recruit somebody? You can get the computer to scan all those CVs and you search for particular what do they call it? Particular what's the word I'm looking for here, man? Particular markers. These little corporate jobs are getting ready to go, man. These little so-called white collar jobs, they're going, man. Okay? And it's gonna be beautiful to see. It's gonna be beautiful to see, because that's where you had the most pride. That's one of the areas that you had the most pride there. The entitlement, all of that. I mean, really also, put it straight, man. Esau's really entitled all in all, but the little corporate guy comes and he's walking around and he thinks he really done something with his life, but really he has a lot of non-value adding time. That's what's gonna be interesting, man. And it's gonna fulfill the scripture, what the scripture says when it says this. There's gonna come a day when there ain't gonna be no work for neither the head nor the tail. And you know what? That's gonna be beautiful, man. That's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. Your flesh is gonna be weary maybe for a period of time. But guess what? You're supposed to be encouraged within these scriptures that we read and come to the conclusion that these things must needs be. Your flesh must needs be uncomfortable. And with your flesh being uncomfortable for a short amount of time, right? Your flesh is gonna be uncomfortable for a short amount of time. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Yahweh Shai is going to return, deliver his elect, and ultimately the kingdom is going to be set up. And with the kingdom being set up, that's when we're going to have the fun. That's when our flesh is going to be able to rest. To the end, the scripture says that in that day, that's when we're going to have perfect rest. So we're going to go through the uncomfortable bit just like everybody else. Hey, we might lose our so-called cushy jobs, but we understand it's for a greater purpose. So with that, I'm going to say, all praise unto Yahweh Shai, Shai, Call HaKodesh, double honors unto the apostles, the great millstone, and all honors you brothers will be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.